A few days ago I had a dream, shortly before I woke up, and I usually don't remember my dreams, so I'm kind of tall.
No, it's not that big.
So I rushed and fixed a cup of coffee and rushed downstairs, and this is the dream. Other than I changed first person to third, and the dream had a few typos. The story's called Tornado. Jacob pulled up at the curb across from the bank. It had just started to get dark, and he forgot to turn off the headlights. He marched into the bank, filled out a withdrawal slip, and took it to the clerk. "Hello, Jacob," the clerk said, with a sad inflection to his voice. "Hello, Wes." When Wes looked at the withdrawal slip, his ears turned red. "You really want to withdraw this much, Jacob?" "Yes." He nodded at Jacob for a moment, then said, "I'll be right back." In a minute, he returned with Jerry, the bank manager. "Hello, Jacob." "Hello, Jerry. Do you mind coming into my office for a moment?" He followed Jerry into his office and sat down across from him at his desk. "I'm truly sorry about Johnny, Jacob." "Thank you, Jerry. He was a great kid." "Yes, he was." "And what an athlete. Took after the old man, huh?" Jacob shrugged. "Are you in some kind of trouble?" "No, Jerry. You're not going to do anything stupid with this money, are you?" "Just give me the money, Jerry. It's my money." "We'll have to report it to the IRS." "Yes, of course, and to the police if they ask." The conversation lulled, and Jerry stood away from his desk. He was gone a few minutes, and when he returned with a plastic sack, he dumped the bundles of money onto the desk and began counting it. "You don't have to count it, Jerry. I trust you. I just want to double check." Jacob put the sack in his backpack. When he returned to his 1988 Oldsmobile, the car wouldn't start. It was then he realized that he had left his lights on. It was dark now and windy. He was cold. He got his jumper cables out of the trunk and clamped the posts of his battery, red on positive, black grounded. He waited for someone to come along and give him a jump. He got tired of waiting and went over to Lucille's pub for a pint. He drank the pint, and then another, and then one more. He sat down with the fourth. A woman sat down across from him. She looked older than him, but probably wasn't. She was hard, the stripes in her face like the years etched in a treat stump. "Buy me a beer," she said. He pushed the beer across the table to her and left. When he returned to his car, it was no longer there at the curb. He saw the 1 hour limit parking sign and cursed. He walked down the street to another pub. He felt himself being poked in the ribs. He looked up at a cop. "This ain't a hotel, mister. You can't stay here." He sat up. His body ached and he was shivering. "We don't tolerate homeless people here. You want to sleep on park benches, go to New York. They got plenty in Central Park." He pushed away from the bench and picked up his backpack, which he had used as a pillow. "What's in your backpack?" "None of your business." "I see, smartass. I'm hauling you in." "For what?" "For vagrancy. I told you. You're spending tonight in a nice warm jail cell." He put handcuffs on him and led him to the patrol car. They drove him to the station. Inside, the sergeant behind the desk looked at Jacob. "Jacob? What are you doing here?" "I guess I was being a vagrant." "You know him, Sarge?" "It's Jacob McIntyre, you idiot. He's a legend around here. Played tight end for the Chicago Bears, and his son, Johnny McIntyre, was the best quarterback this town ever seen." "You're Jacob McIntyre? I didn't realize." He looked contrite and embarrassed. "I'm sorry." "You should be," the sergeant said. "Now get those cuffs off." Outside, it was cold and windy. The cop drove him to where his car had been towed, and he saw the Olds parked in the lot. The cop dropped him off and apologized profusely again. Inside, men were gathered around a wood-burning stove and drinking coffee. They all jumped up and greeted Jacob. "We've been waiting for you, Jacob. Sorry about the tow. I had a dead battery." "Yes, we know. We replaced it with a brand new one." "That wasn't necessary, but thank you." "You better hurry home. There's a storm coming." "There is?" "Yes, possibly a tornado, they're saying." He reached into his backpack for his wallet. "How much I owe?" "Nothing. Get out of here." He turned to leave. "Don't forget your backpack." The He turned back and picked it up. "Sorry about Johnny, Jacob. Have they arrested the guy yet?" Jacob shook his head. Then he went to the lot and drove off. He headed straight towards the house where he was paying someone to deal with the matter promptly. In his rearview mirror, he saw a gigantic black, mushrooming, spiraling cloud chasing him. Thank you.